What's going on, guys? So my buddy is out doing a little car shopping. I'm out here doing a little car dreaming. So I'm standing in front of a 650. Probably not my favorite spec, but all in all, still a beautiful car. And we can definitely tell it's British. I'm gonna get in real quick. Obviously owning the Evora, which is also British made, and getting in the McLaren, you can. I'm gonna leave it at that. Let me show you guys real quick. Well, let me get the alarm off first.
Oh my gosh, today I'm staring at a Ferrari emblem. Man, got the 458 going. I'm not even ready for this kind of experience yet. Whoa!
What's going on, YouTube? So I did something crazy today, and it felt kind of weird because back almost probably 3 years ago now, when I first bought my M3, I created an Instagram page and I called it ostate_M3. And I was pretty well known in the Columbus area by that name. And actually when I got to Dallas, people knew me from Columbus by that name because my content was on YouTube. Well, today I changed it to boosted_Trav. I meant boosted_Trav_. But come on, guys, I just changed the name, so I gotta let it, start getting used to saying. There's no going back, guys.
Boosted
so
Mob.
if you haven't heard about this yet, you're about to find out about it, and you're gonna start seeing some great stuff coming from the Boosted Mob crew. And it's funny because I met this guy through M3s about 3 years ago as well.
Yep.
And we parted ways, and now we're here in Dallas. It's almost like this moment was meant to be, and we're about to ride this wave.
What's going on, guys? So I'm just doing a little car browsing today. Weather is kind of good for that. But anyways, Red Audi, trying to find a TTRS, any other RS models, any of the new R8s, and I think we want to look at the Q8 because I think that's one of the hottest design SUVs on the market right now. We got this, I'm gonna be honest, disappointingly dissatisfying RS5. Kind of dry in terms of designs right now. Like, one thing I can tell you already that I really can't stand is like, you got gloss black here, you got this gray here, you got silver, you got carbon, you got gloss black, you got silver. Like, why are they using so many combinations of colors? Gloss black the whole thing or silver the whole thing? There's like 4 different textures going on here. It doesn't make sense. People are like constantly talking about NSX because its front had the same lot of different languages trying to meet, but like any of these other high-end respectable brands that people don't want to talk shit about has the same fundamental flaw. And I don't know, I don't think it's a really good design overall. Honestly, these ridges, even though it's supposed to kind of show aggression, I think really just makes it look like a potato, but that's just me. Carbon here, but you did silver here. You put carbon there, but gloss black here. It's like, why didn't y'all pick at least just 2 colors?
That's my color.
But this thing. I could daily this.
You could daily a lot of things.
That's true.
The wheels are actually slightly kind of ugly.
They're just black.
Kind of small and fat, they're just black. That's so true. This is only 71. That's not terrible, but
in comparison to how much for a Lambo truck?
yeah, I mean, I really don't like the Lambo trucks, but I could be a bandwagoner and say I do. Especially considering that this is a Lambo truck with I guess it doesn't have the Lambo motor, but the design of the Q8 to me is more aesthetically appealing.
It's the same platform though.
Yeah. Dave's dream car. Oh my god, it's a gorgeous color. Holy moly, TTRS, guys. Jesus. I'm a man.
I know, it's beautiful. Oh, they're so alright tucked away.
don't know if I would have done red on it, but
I don't think I would have done red either. But
maybe like yellow calipers on the exterior would have.
all right, I want to get in, please.
Yeah.
Of course, they got the Audi Sport on the floor.
It's nice. Like the rear is. Not a fan, guys. I don't know. I'm an Audi R8 first gen type of guy. This is like trying to make it like Lamborghini aggressive, but don't really know how to really do it. It's like wave outward here. That design going inward, like get it from a function standpoint, if it is functional, which I don't think it is because those flaps don't go anywhere. It's not functional, so therefore they shouldn't have done it. I don't know, what do you guys think of the new R8? Yeah, it's not even, I thought this would have served purpose for letting the air in because it's designed to look like that. It's nothing. And it would have worked too because they could have ran it through the wind well. And they could have done like a vent here or an outer vent here, and they could have controlled some of the drag there. But hey guys, check out Greg and his new car.
Should I get it? Should I get it? I don't have enough money for that.
All right, guys, what would you guys do? 911 GT3, obviously the .2, or 675 LT? What would you do? Now, I know the answer is obviously going to be Lotus Evora. This is no contest here. Nah, we're joking. I honestly, these are my two current favorite cars. If you talk about McLaren 675 LT, if you talk about Porsche GT3, and I really love the .2. More so about the history. It's not like the history's long, but kind of the motor is shared in their racing platform. It just kind of gives a little bit more of that extra special ooey gooey. Then outside of that, if we're gonna talk modern day Ferrari, the 488 Pista is definitely nice. But outside of that, man, I just think there's a lot of just okay cars out there. I think people are just diarrheaing out all these lukewarm products, and I just don't see it. But the 675, the GT3s, they still hold true, I guess, to the values of what those companies stood for, and you just got all that other blandness out there. But yeah, this thing is beautiful.
Okay. All right. Whatever. You gotta say, check that out. Look at that.
Whoa, look at that fresh. Check that out. I know you guys want one.
Woo! Special edition.
Get out the way, man. We're talking about the car here.
My bad. My bad.
Ah, what a beautiful thing. Golly, my wheels are brown.
You gotta clean your wheels, man. No chairs.
Oh man. I own a Lotus and I'm at Ferrari Maserati. What am I doing? Definitely not thinking about trading it in, that's for sure. What's going on, guys? So my buddy is out doing a little car shopping, and I'm out here doing a little car dreaming. So I'm standing in front of a 650. Probably not my favorite spec, but all in all, still a beautiful car. And we can definitely tell it's British. I'm gonna get in real quick. Obviously owning the Evora, which is also British made, and getting in the McLaren, you can I'm gonna leave it at that. Let me show you guys real quick. Well, let me get the alarm off first. 1 second, guys. The 650, one thing I'll say, a similar-ish design, very loosely I think, is the center dash, the way it's kind of designed in terms of its elements with the under the tray thing, and then the central display, how it has the two side informations. Let me just point at it. I don't know why I'm drawing a blank, but basically here and here, very similar to the Lotus. Obviously, if Lotus had money, theirs would look like this instead of whatever it's designed like it's coming out of a Game Boy Advance. And this one's obviously LCD. I'm really hoping when Lotus gets their little money that when they design theirs, it'll be, you know, crystal clear and beautiful like this rather than what I'm seeing right now. But I mean, when you look at like the center cockpit and some of the features and buttons, I'm gonna be honest, it has the same cons that people try and give Lotus. Like, the fit and finish is not screaming at me like people trying to say online, oh, the fit and finish is worlds better. Now granted, this is a really basic spec, so I'm sure when you get the dry carbon pack and a lot of the Alcantara inside, it totally transforms the car, but that doesn't make, I guess what I'm trying to say is that's what so-called makes a car look more exotic, is using these so-called more exotic materials. And you notice in a lot of the new Lotus, like the new 2020 Lotus Evora GT that just came out, they're Alcantara dripping, and that's just because it just makes it feel more luxurious. But I'm in this spec and it's honestly quite basic. Granted, it has some cool features, doors going up, and that's really all I can really say there. I mean, the paddles aren't large and huge like in the Huracan. The infotainment screen, other than it being more modern, looks pretty dry and basic to me. The buttons look cheap. But I'm not trying to dog McLaren. I'm just trying to say that we overhype certain things when we want it to mean something, when really those things don't really matter. I think one thing I will say is that McLaren has everything where it needs to be, and I'm sure it's a hell of a car to drive. And quite honestly, if I can get my hands on a 570 down the road, I will happily sell my Lotus Evora for a McLaren 570. And if life just, you know, really took off for me and things were working, 600 LT. I'm absolutely in love with the LT specs from McLaren, and I'm absolutely in love with the 570. But I would need a lot of mods on it because I think in stock form it's not where I want it. But when I see some of these modded ones, I'm in love. But all in all, I'm trying to say is this is the British big dog to the underdog Lotus, and I can see that British character definitely in the McLaren. So yeah, that's all I have to say there. One last thing I'll say, and I'm probably because I'm young, it's really easy to get out of McLaren. I know it has this big sill, which is almost leveled with the same height as the seat, but it's so easy to get in and out of these. It's probably why they do the door like this, so that you can have the upward space when you're getting out. But it's easy. Like, it's really easy. Like, I'm gonna go ahead and climb out right now, like 1, 2, 3, just like that. For OCD people, there's really nowhere to put your hand when you go to close this door from the outside. So I'm sure fingerprints are there all the time. So bring your microfiber towel with you every time you finish closing the door so you can keep it fingerprint free. Another it's British loving day in here, guys. GRP just said that he may be making some mirrors that'll have this type of vibe. I think that's a big miss for Lotus. They need to have a little more exotic teardrop like looking mirrors. So I really hope Greg Race Parts comes through and gives us something like this. Just look at what it does for the car. Look how hideous those are. Jesus, those things are ugly. I can't get over how ugly those side mirrors are. Those side mirrors are disgustingly bad. Like, I really hope Greg Race Parts come through. Greg Race Part, if you're watching this, you heard about this, please come through for us Evora people, because it's embarrassing having mirrors looking like that. Give us the McLaren-like mirrors, please. Check out this Huracan. I'm a big fan. I think it looks great. The wing is definitely sets the car apart, no lie. I can never see a Huracan without a wing. After you see a wing like this, it's a great thing. What's going on, YouTube? So I am at Tactical Fleet with my boy Gucci Greg, which I'm lying now, and my man is Boosted Greg, and it's the Boosted Mob, right? As y'all have seen, I changed my name to Boosted Trav. I love coming to this place. This is a shop done so well. They got some really nice cars that I want to kind of show you guys. McLaren Senna, a 488 Pista, Performante, 4GT, both old gen and new gen, SLR McLaren, bunch of GT2 RSs, GT3 RSs. It's heaven. It's nicely done. But anyways, let me show off some of the beautiful cars here. One thing that I've been talking to my friends a lot about is this bumper I want to get, which at first was exclusive, but now it's coming out on the 2020 Evora GT. And it's just, I feel like the bumper really completes the rear end of the Evora, and there's some elements on the 488 Pista that you can kind of see designed on the Evora GT bumper. I'm not gonna say it's equal. I mean, obviously there's a difference in caliber of design and whatnot, but overall it has that same rear end flare that I'm looking for. So let me go ahead and just show you the 488 Pista bumper, and then I'll obviously post a link of the Evora GT rear so you can kind of get a comparison, but it's a must-have option for me come soon. So some of the elements on this bumper, the Evora GT, I honestly look at the Evora as like a poor man's Ferrari in a way. You got the side skirts here, or side scoops here, that actually vent through. So you can see the wheel just like on the GT bumper. And then you have the bigger diffuser, and then you have the bumper really kind of going up. The Evora GT will look. And then kind of similar lights, you know. You can see there's very much Italian design in the Evora GT. You got an Aventador getting parked, sounding very quiet, which is actually interesting. I take that back. Man. Which design do you like better? The 488?
I mean, I like McLaren.
Or the Senna? Okay, so then the Senna or the 4GT? You're thinking too hard about it. It's a one-off Ford Galpin or whatever.
This is interesting. I've never seen that.
Hey Lauren, should I trade my Evora in for this 997 GT3? Why not? It's not special.
You better take that back right now.
Woman, this is the woman who said it wasn't special. I'll send you guys her address if you let me know. Please feel free to eliminate her. Thank you. Guys, that woman had the nerve to look me dead in the eye and say there's nothing special about a GT3. Absurd. Okay, I take it back. Now she's saying just that one. This one is beautiful. Absolutely freaking beautiful. Ridiculous. I mean, man. I think they're asking like 90 something, 95. It has low miles, a very heavy clutch. I think it's Sharkworks or Dundon on the exhaust and headers. I can't remember, but it's, guys, it's a beautiful spec. Inside the Porsche, what do you think about?
That's very
What?
steering wheel's kind of nice.
Ew.
Suede. I mean, it is clean, like you said. When did this come out?
You want to go open a door on a McLaren for the first time?
Sure.
It's such a great feeling, guys.
What year did this come out?
Huh? Your significant other on cars. You got to make them enjoy the specialness. Hey, open that door. Don't you want to be able to swing your door open like that? Yeah, we need to get the doors up, guys. We need to get the doors up. It's a 675 LT Spider.
All right, so the real question here, for both you, Lauren, and the people watching. So when everyone always asks for, like, you know, my long-term stretch goal, like, really, if I'm really considering next cars, you got the Ferrari 458, you got the 911 GT3, and I got a little McLaren fever for the 570. I really do love the 675 LT, but that's absurd. 570, 458, 911 GT3. What would you guys do? I'm curious. I've loved the Ferrari sound for as long as I can remember. I've loved the GT3 sound for as long as I can remember. And the 570, or McLaren's brand now, is kind of really living up to that modern day supercar excitement. But the other two are more of like my childhood's passion.
488, 458.
Okay, so I'm one of those people who honestly thinks the 458 looks better than the 488. Sue me. I don't think the 488 has that. It's just some little differences that make the 488 look a little neuter. Look like they tried to soften it, make it a little more daily drivable. The 458 has a little more aggression, and I love it. But I was talking to Lauren, and she said if it came down to next cars, GT3 would be third, McLaren would be second, Ferrari would be first. She says the Ferrari is really a more grown and sexy of the Lotus Evora. And I have to agree, it really is. But I think the real thing is how long will it take me to get there? Because a 458 in my garage would be amazing. I'm probably a little whiles away. It's more so the maintenance and some of that stuff that I'm just not ready for it. Second of all, guys, take your woman car shopping with you. You get her to believe in the dream, appreciate what you're appreciating. It's a lot easier to sell her on another expensive toy. I mean, I always take her on all future buys to get her buy-in, to make her believe it, basically coercing her into, but we need this. We need this. And then it's easier. So if you haven't been doing that, man, y'all gotta go out there and do that, because it helps. Because I promise you, when I come in for the Ferrari keys, there's gonna be no complaining. She's gonna be almost as excited as me.
Look at her over there, checking out the 488. Girl, my pocketbook ain't that big. Stop looking at that. I can't afford that.
Yep.